In my last video, I let you know how to practice speaking Korean on your own. And this time, I'll tell you how you can practice Korean speaking with a native Korean partner through two types of language exchange program in Korea versus online. Hi, I'm Helena from alphakoreanclass. Have you ever had a direct conversation with a Korean? If you have, was it online or in Korea? Practicing speaking alone and meeting and talking to Koreans are completely different. Whenever you do speaking practice, you use a book, right? The content of the book is set to your level. The difficulty of the vocab, the length of the sentence, the audio speed, the topic, all of these are controlled. It is much easier to feel a sense of accomplishment. Isn't that amazing? Wonderful! However, once you realize that all of this is inside a tightly controlled setting, only one type of experience is satisfactory. And that is conversing with Korean. But the real-life conversation isn't in a controlled setting. Your partner does not take your skill level into consideration. They also do not choose a specific topic to speak on. Of course, you do have to start off with a self-introduction. But in a snap, the conversation goes off topic, and once you hear words you never expected at a native Korean speaker's fast speed, you're not able to understand anything while listening to them, or you just forget everything you thought you knew. This is what happens in real-life conversation. Many people say that this was one of the most nerve-wracking moments in their life. Either they couldn't understand anything while listening to the native Korean speakers talk, or the things they know do not come to mind. I have also seen a lot of people who fall into a slump because of this and don't study Korean for a long time or even completely give up on learning Korean. But for some others, such an experience can also become life-changing, making them even more dedicated to learning Korean. What is the reason for this difference? Because those are born with the talent for languages, because they are more sociable or more extroverted. It is true that these factors can have some influence, but even if you have difficulty meeting new people, are introverted, or are not very good with languages, there is a way to overcome this stress. There is a way to prepare yourself to face such moment. That is practicing non-controlled conversation with a language exchange partner. Korean language exchange is a safe exercising ground before you meet an actual Korean-only situation. Now, I will ask the question I asked earlier again. Have you ever had a one-on-one conversation with a Korean? If you have, was it a language exchange or in a real setting? If you're not doing language exchange right now, or you've never done it before, I personally recommend that you participate in this meeting for at least 2 months before meeting other Korean. This is because Koreans who participate in this meeting will be more patient in understanding your pronunciation than other normal Korean. And they will more generous if you have a hard time understanding them at first. This is because they also expect the same kindness and patience from you. Two people or two groups with the same object help each other to improve their language skill, and eventually they develop together. They will become a kind of colleague for you, as well as your language parents. Just like your parents do not only teach you language, they will also relay cultural knowledge to you. For that reason, a reliable exchange partner is even more important than you think. No matter how many mistakes you make, they will not be disappointed and will encourage you. So today I introduce to you Language Exchange 101, where you can meet Koreans in person to practice Korean, and a conversation exchange where you can meet Korean language exchange partner online. I will tell you both the pros and cons and then give you my own opinion of the program. No matter what, you should find the exchange program that fits you and start right away. Let me briefly explain what language exchange in Korea is. The language exchange in Korea is a meeting where foreigners who are visiting Korea or are living in Korea short-term or long-term can meet Koreans and teach each other target languages. The meetings are usually held in cafe or casual bars in downtown areas such as Hongdae, Gangnam, and Jongno. Usually, you pay a fee that is about the price of coffee and sit at tables of 3 to 7 people to have a conversation. After 20 to 30 minutes have passed, you move to the different table and talk to different people. And you get the chance to meet and speak with many different people over the course of 2 hours. The first advantage of this program is that it gives you a place to meet Koreans living in Korea and have face-to-face conversation with them. There are Koreans who wants to talk with you all in one place. On the other hand, the number of foreigners participating in this meeting is quite low. So you won't have to compete with other non-Korean for speaking time, right? And second, you get to make Korean friends. People at these meetings are usually open to new things, and they will most likely want to become friends with you. After this gathering, there are often after parties and cultural parties too. So if you attend all the events available, you are sure to make new friends. And third, by speaking with different people in diverse topics, you will naturally become familiar with Korean culture and the mindset of Korean people. Since the program is based more on casual free talking and not set speaking practice lessons, your minds will go with the flow in that environment. So, if you join a good language exchange program, you will have fun, regardless of whether you are a super beginner or an advanced learner. However, because of this, if you have specific needs, such as pronunciation correction or getting feedback on your sentence structure, and any mistake you make, this will not be the right fit for you. I also don't recommend this program if you don't like talking to a new group of people, or if you are an extremely introverted person, okay? So in addition, instead of an opportunity for language exchange, many people might see this as a dating opportunity as well. So if you like the person too, then, that's great. But if not, it could become an awkward situation. So if you are not looking for a date, think carefully before giving your personal number. If it's language exchange you want, then focus on your goal. And if you want to date, that's fine. Why not? Now, I introduce a language exchange group called 언어교환 101, which means Language Exchange 101. I found this group by searching on Naver, and it seems like lots of Koreans love to join this group to practice speaking English. Do you know what it means for you? It just means that you will get more chance to find a good Korean language exchange partner that is just right for you. The location is Jongno, also known as the heart of Seoul, where lots of travelers stay. You can join in on this program every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evening at 7:30 on weekdays, and the weekend program is held at 3 p.m. on Saturday and 4 p.m. on Sunday. The average number of attendees for this gathering is 45 to 50 people, and usually more than 70% are Korean. So you might end up being the only English speaker at your table. And here's a surprise! The manager said that he will give our subscriber the first visit for free! Yay! This is not a paid advertisement video, but I think this manager is great and the gathering is also so cool. Anyway, to participate in this meeting, you need to fill out the application form through KakaoTalk by clicking the link below. Let me explain briefly for those who don't know what KakaoTalk is. KakaoTalk is a messenger app that almost all Koreans use as much as Naver. So search for KakaoTalk in your app store and download it. Then click the link below and fill out the application form. The participation fee here is 5,000 won for foreigners, less than $5. You must make a deposit to bank account before participating, usually, but if you write down Alpha Korean class after the question of who recommended this group to you, then your first visit is free! Yeah! Those who can't come to Korea can participate online as well. So please check the details directly through the link below. There's one more tip. If you are planning to stay in Korea for at least 6 months, think about applying to become a leader. Leaders can participate in the gathering for free every time while helping Koreans improve their English speaking skill. If you are interested, do remember that the interviewer prefers the person who is positive and outgoing people during the interview. Now let's move on to online language exchange. I'm going to introduce an online website, not an app, but most people know. This is because if you find a language exchange partner through this website, you're more likely to meet someone who is studying seriously. For example, if you are looking for someone to meet once a week and practicing speaking long-term through video chat, the website is much better than HelloTalk. Of course, if you want to practice twice or 3 times a week, you can also make appointment with more than one partner. You get to have a one-on-one tutor for free. I'll introduce you to the conversation exchange website and let you know how to use it. First, when you sign up for this website, you have to create a simple profile. You should fill out your gender, country, native language, and the type of exchange you want. This lets people know who you are, your reason for studying Korean, and what you like to do. You need some simple sentences that shows your attitude or personality to appeal to your language exchange partners and make them contact you. Okay, next, you can search for your ideal partner right away. This website allows you to find your partner according to their native language, country, gender, age, level, etc. and contact them directly. Once you find the people that match your criteria, send a message to the person you want to study with. At first, it's better to simply tell the reason why you want to study with them and give your KakaoTalk ID. After they see your message, they will contact you through KakaoTalk or through the website message box. And third, negotiate the language exchange method you want. Some of the things to consider while negotiating are type and timing, goal skill, method, and time allocation, and others. Okay, to give you a tip, try to consider not only what you want, but also what your partner wants. The biggest advantage of the online language exchange is that many services are provided free of charge, and it is suitable for finding a one-on-one partner. When you meet someone with good chemistry, you become more motivated to study Korean. If you have studied Korean for less than a year and it is difficult to find a Korean to talk to around you, I will recommend this method. At first, you may only be able to introduce yourself in Korean. Okay, then you might speak 20% in Korean and 80% in English, right? To practice speaking more, ask them to correct your pronunciation while you read from your beginner's textbook. You can also share dialogue from the book and take turns reading it. As I said in the last video, the best speaking practice for beginners is not talking, but reading the text aloud. Be creative and find ways to use your scheduled time more efficiently. The possibilities are endless. Now, let me tell you the shortcomings. If you don't find someone who fits you, you may quickly lose interest in learning Korean. So it's important to find the right person. Usually, you will get the feeling if you meet somebody once or twice, right? Leave them quickly if they don't feel good or don't fit. You may also have computer connection issues or time zone problem too. To add to that, there are often people who think it's a less important appointment than offline meetings, so they may fail to show up at the appointed time without giving notice or cancel out of blue. But all of these problems don't matter at all when you meet someone you can trust. So I wanted to put your heart into finding the right person. Now let's put everything together. We learned about these two types of language exchange program. Did you decide which one you would like to try as soon as possible? Language is one part of culture, and culture is a way of life created naturally by people living together in certain region. I hope you meet real Korean and experience real Korean culture through your Korean studies. In any way, at any level you are at right now, be sure to try it. Meet a Korean friend, not a teacher like me. I don't think there is a suitable time for language exchange. You may be motivated to study Korean more than ever through this process because you will be able to taste the joy that Korean can give you. Everything that happens after the tasting is your responsibility, you know? Then I'll be back with more useful contents next time. 여러분, 다음 시간에 또 만나요. 안녕!